Well, hello and welcome to Biking Buddies. This is the Motovlog channel. Today is gonna be a very good day. We are out with a TRF today, as you can see. This is one of the monthly social meets. We're up in the Yorkshire Dales today. One thing that is for sure is I don't know what's gonna happen. You guys don't know what's gonna happen. This one, I don't think I've got any choice or option with. The bike isn't gonna fit over the bridge, so it looks like a water crossing. Deep joy. Well, hopefully it isn't deep and it's just joy. But the one thing that is for sure is it's going to be a fantastic day. So as always, grab yourself a beer, grab yourself a brew, and come with us on this week's Biking Buddies upload. Let's roll VT.
Where do you go when you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, cause you're desperate? Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison? What's your pleasure?
Okay, so that is the titles out of the way, as you have seen. So what are we up to in a little bit more detail? Well, this is a TRF ride led by Leo, and I do believe that we're actually doing a little bit of a recce for Leo's coast to coast that he's going to be running in a month or two's time. So we're heading out west at the moment. I believe today is going to be a little bit of a longer day in terms of outright mileage, but that shouldn't faze us too much. We've got a little bit of road work to do, and then we've got some quite long trails to do, and there'll be an awful lot of trails that are new to me as well, which is fantastic, and that's good for expanding my trail knowledge. So this looks like we're up towards the West Witton Trail, which will just link us nicely across to the west side of the Yorkshire Dales. Now, one element that we're very definitely going to have to contend with today, and I don't know how much, hopefully you will be picking this up on the GoPro, and that is the dust. It quite literally hasn't rained for 4 solid weeks, possibly pushing into 5. The trails are absolutely tinder dry, and yeah, this dust is quite problematic, to be fair. The trails are very loose under wheel, as you'd well expect, but no dramas besetting us there. But yeah, the dust is it certainly is quite gritty in your eyes, and of course, not aiding that today is there is very little to no wind, so that isn't necessarily aiding the situation for us. Still the odd puddle kicking around though, very welcoming, just keeps that dust down. So we just stopped for a quick interim break here. Here's our group. We've got a couple of T7s, a 709, we've got a Husqvarna 901, the Norden I believe it is, and we've got our Himalaya out with us as well. So yeah, it's proving to be a good day. 16 degrees already, and it's still super early in the morning. So the windproof's off now. We're down to jersey and body armour, and that feels a lot nicer with a bit of airflow coming through your gear. It is going to be a warm one today. Look at the dust that we're contending with again. That might ease as the day goes on. Well, the dust won't ease, but I believe that the breeze, once those thermals kick in, that breeze will just help to clear the dust away a little bit for us. And we pop back out onto tarmac. Whew, fantastic, drink time. Okay, so this one should be quite interesting for me. It's a lane that I've never been across before. It's Busk Lane that takes us up onto Gilbert Lane, dropping down to the right to Semawater or Starling Busk, and to the left down to the Kettlewell Road. So it'll be interesting to see what the lane's like. I have looked at it a few times, but just logistically, I've never come across this way because I've always been coming across the opposite way. So it's going to be an interesting lane to see what it's like. As far as I understand it from Stuart Murdoch, another very well-knowledged TRF member, there are quite a few gates on this one. So I think the order of assemblance within our group is going to change quite a lot as we leapfrog each other on gate duty. Yep, and as expected, lots of gates, lots of very loose and lots of rubble to boot. Yeah, I'm certainly intrigued to see this lane, so I'm quite grateful that Leo's brought us up this way. As I say, it's one that I have looked at for a while. I mean, would you look at this? What a place to come and play. Absolutely amazing. Leo's doing us absolutely proud again on this route. Very varied, very mixed terrain, single track, very rocky, quite challenging, very loose obviously with the dry weather, and then dual track as well, into these utterly breathtaking areas. I mean, look around us, just the barren wildness. Even on a gorgeous sunny day such as it is, we're now showing 18 degrees on the bike, but even on a gorgeous sunny day you can appreciate how barren this place is. For the landowners working this land, yeah, that's going to be a challenge. So yeah, we picked up Gilbert Lane, we turned left there at the top of Busk Lane, and we're going to tumble down over the edge now. Not quite literally, hopefully, albeit as you can see it is we are blighted with that dust today, but the views that we'll get off the front here will be quite something else, I am sure. So here we are coming to our first descent edge, just a few hundred meters in front of Leo, and already we're picking up those spectacular views down the valley. And I believe that we're going to turn right at the bottom and head down towards Kettlewell and keep forging our track westward. Look at this. What an amazing place. Wow, what a view. Look at that. You don't always have chance to look around and appreciate the view when your eyes are predominantly nailed to the track as they are, but that is something else, eh? Very definitely worth coming for, without shadow of a doubt. All the loose stuff gets kicked up into the middle, as you can see, and that's always the tricky bits. It does become quite deep on this particular section of track, but we can afford a bit more momentum. Let the bike roll away a bit. This is just like dropping off the face of the limestone edge, which typically is exactly what we're doing. Basically, we are coming right off that limestone edge. Don't know how much you can hear that. That is just the rear wheel just under rotating as we go. Look at this. I know I keep saying how fantastic it is up in the north of England, but yeah, this is just utterly breathtaking on every level. This finer gravel, it's very much like ball bearings. Once the bike starts to move and go, you don't have a vast amount of saying where it's going, you just got to point and cling on. But I think we can risk a little bit more momentum. And that pretty much sees us down. See a chap coming blatting up here. And there we are on the level. And I'll go get the gate and let everybody through. There we go. Here's our troop coming down. Absolutely fantastic. Look at this for an amazing part of the world. So this next section is a road section as we drop down towards Kettlewell, and I'm not going to film all of this, but I'm sure you'll appreciate as we tumble from the altitude that this is an incredible part of the world. We are utterly blessed to be living in a part of the world that we do. Now, whilst I'm not entirely sure where Leo's bringing us, there was mention of Salterfell over towards the west side of the Dales, so I ultimately believe that's where we're heading. I don't know whether this little minor road that we're on at the moment takes us over to Salterfell, but one thing that we do know is it is absolutely beautiful, and you can really see this limestone edge very, very prominent. That's on both sides of the valley. So yeah, looking ahead, it looks like the sides of the valley are encroaching slightly, just coming a little bit tighter together. So whilst this road that we're on did indicate a single track road. It didn't actually show as a dead end, so I'll be intrigued to see where it ends up. So yeah, stick around because I'm sure we're going to find out fairly soon. The power of editing. So I do believe the question has been answered. I've got no idea what the name of this fell is, but we are turning left, and that looks like our track climbing up the side of the dale there. So these are all brand new trails to me, which is absolutely fantastic, and it's one of the reasons that I like being part and parcel of the TRF, is just expanding that trail knowledge. Look at that, for river crossings there's absolutely nothing in it. Wow, even I wouldn't mind that one. Cheers, buddy. And up we go. This looks like a nice steady ascent. What a beautiful part of the world. And yeah, just coming down the road section there, just flick the temperature gauge across from engine temperature that I'm just keeping an eye on. I've never ran this bike in any heat, but yeah, the ambient air temperature at the moment is 18 degrees, so incredibly pleasant. I bet this is quite slippy in the wet with these polished off stones. Now that gate's open, so we're all good. Oh, that was more good luck than judgment. Let's get back up on them pegs. Makes a world of difference when you're up on the pegs. Your gut reaction is to sit down, but man alive, you get up on the pegs and it just drops that centre of gravity, or it certainly works for me. But I must admit, again, reporting back on this and last Capra X, it seems to be handling this okay. No problems so far. Man, I can feel the heat just beating down on me. I would imagine the old bike's going to be super warm when we get to the top. This big old pull. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Thank you very much. Always nice to be courteous, particularly when the old boy was holding the gate for us there. He didn't have to. Wow, we have gained some altitude there, just popping up over the dry stone wall. Gained some altitude and lost some body fluids. Do you know, I love these farmers quads. They are absolute beasts. Look at that. What a machine. That was a long, long climb. 104 degrees on the old bike there. 104 degrees the bike.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't know what mine is.
Okay, so Leo's just pulled us up here for a brief respite just at the top of the steep climb that you've seen us coming up. So we're looking down the vast expanse up to the head of Littondale. Absolutely beautiful place. Bikes are super hot pulling up there first and second gear. So yeah, voyage of discovery from here on in. It's all brand new. So this sees us climbing out of Littondale across to the west hand side, so be interesting to see what the descent's like. If that was the ascent, which was okay, it was a little bit loose, a little bit challenging in places, but wow, look at this for riding in just wild empty places. Man alive, you gotta love trail riding when it enables you to get into areas like this. I mean, forget your road riding, sack that. Trail riding is absolutely 100% where it's at for me. So incidentally, what has been nice is there has been an increased following with the YouTube channel, which is fantastic. That's always nice and very welcoming to see. But arriving there at the meet point this morning, just the amount of people that are commenting on the videos. I do post them on the TRF Facebook page as well. but the amount of people that have commented on the videos saying how much that they like them, they enjoy them, and that's really good to see. It's really encouraging to know that your work is ultimately appreciated. Oh, fantastic, look at that, some mountain bikers holding the gate for us, even better. Thank you very much. Superb. So just while we wait for a little bit of a regroup, look at that for a summit fell. I believe that's one of the Yorkshire Dales 3 peak summits. I'm not entirely sure. I think the route that Leo's brought us on, whilst it's absolutely fantastic as they always are, it has spun my geography a little bit, so I'm not entirely sure in terms of what's around us where we actually are. But he's bringing us on some absolutely fantastic trails, as you can see, and the area is just outstanding. The scenery that we're getting every time we come around a corner, over a crest, into a valley, it just absolutely blows your mind. And here's another one of those such places. Just come over the top there, look. That looks quite deep. And yeah, just the next set of valleys opens right out in front of you. Just incredible part of the world. Lots of gates, I do know that. Okay, so that's me as the number 2 on gate duty, and wow, would you look at that. Let me get this gate because that bike is not overly, it's almost upright. Wow, just trying to take the view in at the same time. You don't mind gate duty when you've got views like this. We're dropping down into somewhere which I'm not entirely sure where that somewhere is. Thank you, John. So John is the tech on this ride, that's the tail end Charlie. So he's just ensuring that we all get through, and he's readily on hand should anybody have any dramas and we don't get through. I would imagine in the west this would be quite the challenge. This is very indicative of the steeper sections coming off Rudland Rig to a larger degree. Try and stay on the track, don't want to go off piste too much. He said going off piste. Let's get back on that track, that's better. I think if we're going to be in a rut, I'd rather be in a slightly wider rut, particularly with the adventure bike and the adventure bike tyres. It just seems to flow a little better sitting in that wider rut. The enduro bikes, they seem to be better suited to the narrow ruts. I know I'm running slightly wider tyres and that may have something to do with it, I don't know. It's probably more down to rider ability than anything. Okay, so I know that we're on a road section and most of you guys wanting this are wanting to see the trails rather than the road sections, but this really is worth flicking the camera on for. We've dropped out of the Yorkshire Dales now westward. We are now in the area of outstanding natural beauty as classified, and this is the Forest of Bowland. And look at this for an empty place, it is incredible. And this looks like the summit. Cheers boys. Wow, look at that. That is a view and a half. The Forest of Bowland. Incredible. Would you just look at this for a backdrop. This is what I was talking about, the very loose gravel, particularly around the bends and things, obviously. But at least we're smooth at the moment, which is considerably better than it was 10 minutes ago, I can tell you that. It certainly wasn't graceful bringing this T7 up that hill. There was a lot more skill and grace in the group than with myself. And ironically, yeah, that was the point that the GoPro battery decided to fail on me. So I think you guys, as the viewers, the loyal viewers, you dodged a bullet there. What an amazing shot. That's Morecambe Bay in front of us and the Irish Sea. This is just outstanding. Coming across this ridge edge here with the TRF. Unbelievable. Okay then folks, so that goes over the cattle grid. Yep. Okay, so that sees us down off the trail. We're just tumbling down into this valley. No idea what the valley is called. We're over in the Forest of Bowland, and that's an area that I am not familiar with at all. But as you can see around us, it is incredibly pretty, and obviously that's made even more so on a day like today when we've got this absolutely idyllic weather. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at there, that is Morecambe Bay, and just off to the north, that is the Lake District. We are a long way over today. Okay, so we're post very late lunch stop now. Time is pushing on quite a lot. We're still deep over on the west side of where we need to be, and we're basically just doing a little bit of a dummy run for Leo's coast to coast, as I mentioned there at the top of the video. So yeah, in real time it's actually coming up towards 4 o'clock in the evening on a Sunday, so this is going to be a long one. So yeah, I reckon we're going to get back around about 7 o'clock this evening, I think. Okay, so we're just linking a few trails now, pushing a little bit more eastward, which is quite nice. But we're not heading west anymore. So far it's just been gravel trails, but I'm sure, knowing Leo, there'll be some gnarly stuff to come. This lower section, just as we're working our way out towards the Forest of Bowland, is typically, it's all just arable land as we can see. Yeah, it's typically just arable land as we can see, and for me, thank goodness that it's dry, because I would imagine this will be as slippy as a slippy thing if it was wet. Oh, I'm on gate duty again. Yeah, looking at these ruts in the grass, I'm not a fan of ruts at the best of times, and I'm not a fan of wet grass at the best of times, so I think all in all we are very lucky that this is a dry trail. Like a well-oiled machine, this gate duty malarkey. A well-oiled machine, I tell you. This one, I don't think I've got any choice or option with. The bike isn't going to fit over the bridge, so it looks like a water crossing. Deep joy. Well, hopefully it isn't deep, and it's just joy. Nope, the bike is not going over that bridge. Very slippy underfoot. Woohoo! Yay! I hate water crossings. Oh my life. Like a pro, look at that. That's how it's done. Well, yes, as we saw on the way up there, I have now actually seen everything. So here we are, high up on a trail, not quite in the middle of nowhere, but certainly high up on the trail, and there's an ice cream van. How incredible is that? So yeah, off on our way now. Good bit of initiative, and they certainly had a lot of brisk trade to say that we are towards the closing stages of the day. I mean, glancing down there, the time is just before 5 o'clock on a Sunday. Now here's a silly question for you. Do flies sleep? Well, it's pushing quite deep into the late afternoon, early evening now. We're climbing up towards the start of the Roman road, and the amount of flies when we're on the trails, not too bad on the roads, but when we're on the trails, the amount of flies that hit you in the grid, that manage to work their way down the side of your head, and somehow like little homing beacons, they can just get behind your ears, and all you can feel in your helmet is the flies scurrying around behind your ears. It's terrible. I hate it, absolutely hate it. So here we are, top of the road, and this sees us pick up the Roman road. It's quite a tight turn, as we can see. And there we are, that is Horsengale down there to our left, and this is the top of the Roman road. This will be Bonius McDry today. This is us down towards the very bottom section of the Roman road, or the High Cam road to give it its official name. It's been an absolutely amazing day, but aside of the dust, I feel yeah, my eyes are very gritty today. I've got the old impact glasses on as always. That's helped abate the bugs from my eyes, but also the grit as well. And riding with fellow TRF members today, it's been absolutely incredible, just superb. It's been a long day, yes, but I guess in the ride brief Leo did say it was going to be a long day. I'm not quite sure it was as long in the planning as it's turned out in the execution, so I'm guessing that my dinner will be in the dog that I haven't got when I get home. Absolutely magical place to ride. I've always maintained that you do need a little bit of moisture just to help keep that substrate together. Wow, there we go, a little bit of fresh air. Let's stay on the windward side of our little trail coming down. What a perfect way to round the day off. I do believe this will be our last trail. We've pushed past 6 o'clock now. So as you guys know, I upload every single Friday, so do make sure that you keep your eye on the channel. Click that subscribe button and you will be notified every time there is an upload. You can also incidentally follow me on the social media channels, and also for Biking Buddies Bespoke Facebook page, and across both of those platforms, that is where I do post all of the midweek activity and all of the behind the scenes stuff as well. So it's worth getting involved. Jump onto Facebook, Biking Buddies, and get an invitation sent across, and I'll get you added to that group. So I will thank you very much for your company as we close this ride out now, late on a Sunday afternoon, early evening. From me and the very dusty guys on the TRF ride, led by Leo. Thank you very much, Leo, once again. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, keep it safe, keep it shiny side up, and hopefully you'll be able to see a lot more than I can. We'll catch you in the next one, folks. Thank you. Bye now, bye.